أشرقت نفسي بنور من فؤادي حينما رددت يا رب العباد وانتشت روحي وصار الدمع يجري يا إلهي خذ بقلبي للرشاد أشرقت نفسي بنور من فؤادي حينما رددت يا رب.
The ruqya, which fulfills the following three conditions, is permissible by ijma'. These conditions are: number one, that they are from the Quran or the Sunnah, or include, or they are names or attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's the first condition. The second condition is that they are in clear Arabic language, that can be clearly understood. Thirdly, the person performing the ruqya or having the ruqya performed on them should not believe that they bring about effect in and of themselves, but they are effective with the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So ruqya that fulfills these conditions is permissible by ijma'. If it doesn't fulfill these conditions and it doesn't constitute shirk, then there is a difference of opinion. For example, a ruqya which is performed in other than the Arabic language, or a ruqya that does not come from an ayah of the Quran, or a dua taught by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. These incantations, if they do not include shirk in them, there's a difference of opinion amongst the ulama as to whether they can be used, as to whether they are indeed effective or not. Now, the ruqya or the ruqa or the incantations which constitute shirk are those ruqa, those incantations which include seeking assistance from the jinn, seeking assistance from other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, calling upon other than Allah azza wa jal, or the recitation or the chanting of names of devils or evil jinn. These are examples of ruqyas which are shirk, which comprise of shirk, and these are the kind of ruqyas which are used by soothsayers and magicians and so on and the like. As for tamaim is the plural for tamima, talismans. The word tamima is given to anything which is either worn or hung in order to ward off evil eye or other such afflictions, or to bring about some form of cure, to protect from some kind of diversity. So whether it is worn on the body or hung in the house or placed in the car, it is a tamima. The foot of a rabbit, structure of, little structure of an eye that you see sometimes in people's houses by a door, the foot of a horse, the head of a moose, so on and so forth. All these which are used in order to ward off some kind of evil, these are known as tamaim, and all of these are acts of ashirk al-asghar, and they can reach to the level of ashirk al-akbar if one believes that they have an effect in and of themselves. Now, the Shaykh rahmatullahi alayhi says, في الصحيح عن أبي بشير الأنصاري رضي الله عنه أنه كان مع رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم في بعض أسفاره فأرسل رسولا ألا يبقين في رقبة بعير قلادة من وتر أو قلادة إلا قطعت. It has been related in an authentic hadith in the Sahih on the authority of Abu Bashir Al-Ansari, may Allah be pleased with him, that he was with Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam in one of his journeys, when he sent a messenger to announce that there should not remain in the neck of any camel a necklace of bowstring or any other necklace except that it is cut. Now, the Arabs used to put necklaces of bowstrings in their camels, believing that they could ward off the evil eye. And the Prophet ﷺ ordered that these be cut off, because they used to believe that that there were a means of protecting them from the evil eye. So the Prophet ﷺ ordered that they be cut in order to make inkar of this, show that this is something which is not permissible in the Sharia, and the reason is that it is a form of shirk. Then the Shaykh Rahmatullah alayhi says, وعن ابن مسعود قال سمعت رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يقول إن الرقى والتمائم والتولة شرك رواه أحمد وأبو داود. On the authority of Ibn Mas'ud, he said, I heard Allah's Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam saying that incantations, talismans and love spells are all shirk. وعن عبد الله بن عكيم مرفوعا من تعلق شيئا وكل إليه رواه أحمد والترمذي. On the authority of Abdullah ibn Ukaym, directly to the Prophet ﷺ, who said, whoever depends upon something, then he shall be left in his charge. If he depends upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then he shall be left to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grant him protection. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will grant him success. And if he attaches himself, if he relies on other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if he relies on something worthless, insignificant, then he will be left in his charge, and he will not have the protection of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He will not have the tawfiq of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the recompense fits the deed. Then the Shaykh explains what tamaim, what ruqa, tamaim and tiwala are. He says, التمائم شيء يعلق على الأولاد يتقون به العين، لكن إذا كان المعلق من القرآن فرخص فيه بعض السلف وبعضهم لم يرخص فيه ويجعله من المنهي عنه منهم ابن مسعود رضي الله عنه. Tamaim, plural of tamima, is the term given to something which children are made to wear in order to protect them from the evil eye. However, if what they are made to wear is from the Quran, meaning made from verses, written verses of the Quran, then some of the Salaf have allowed this, and some of them did not allow this and considered it to be prohibited. Amongst them is Ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu, may Allah be pleased with him. So the tamaim are those things which children are made to wear, either on their neck or on their wrist. In general, they are not permissible because of the hadith which is mentioned in the ruqa wa tamaim wa tiwala to shirk, that incantations, talismans and love spells are shirk. This hadith is general. However, exempt from these are all those are the ruqyas which do not constitute shirk, as the Prophet ﷺ said, لا بأس بالرقية ما لم يكن shirk, that there is nothing wrong with ruqya as long as it does not constitute shirk. So the base rule concerning tamaim is that they are shirk. However, we find that some of the Salaf allowed making talismans from ayat from the Quran. And the principle is, if the Sahaba differ upon something, then we go back to the asl, we go back to the texts, and we find that the asl in the text is the base ruling of Tamaim is that they are not shirk. However, we don't give the ruling of those of the Sahaba who did not allow them. They did not say that it is shirk because they are made from verses of the Quran, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's words are not created. So they suffice by saying that they are not permissible. And there are a number of mafasid, there are a number of problems with wearing talismans that are made from verses of the Quran. First of all, the person who wears them, if they are worn, then it makes it difficult to make inkar of wearing talismans in general, to wearing tamaim in general, because anyone can simply turn around and say that this is from that what's included, what's put inside this amulet or this talisman, that is wrapped up in leather. This has got verses of the Quran inside it. Sometimes the person wearing it might not even know what it contains and assume that it has verses in the Quran. So making inkar of wearing talismans, rebuking, censoring the wearing of talismans becomes difficult. The second problem is that the person wearing it will begin to become attached to the act of wearing the talisman, to the talisman that self, and this is something which weakens Tawhid, and which it can lead to shirk, leading to wearing the other forms of talismans. Thirdly, another problem is that it exposes that it can lead to disrespect and dishonoring of the ayat of the Quran, because people will go to them, people will go to places which are not befitting of having the Quran, or having ayat of the Quran taken to it. For example, the bathroom, akramakumullah, the people might wear them, wear ayat of the Quran, wear necklaces with ayat of the Quran engraved into them when they go to the toilet, akramakumullah. This is something which happens, and sometimes even you tell people that don't wear this, that this is disrespectful to the Quran. They say I need this for protection. I need this for protection from the jinn, and so on and so forth. So it leads to disrespect of the Quran. It leads to disrespect of the ayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So with that being the case, it seems, wallahu alam, it appears that the stronger opinion is that which is held by Ibn Mas'ud and his companions, that it is not actually permissible, that it is prohibited to make tamaim, to wear tamaim from the verses of the Quran. Then the Shaykh rahmatullahi alayhi says, وَالرُّقَى هي التي تسمى العزائم وخص منها الدليل ما خلا من الشرك فقد رخص فيه رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم من العين والحمى. That ruqa are also called incantations, are also called charms, and an exception is given in the text for all those that are free from shirk. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave leeway, gave a concession for them, for the purposes of protection from the evil eye, or curing from the evil eye and from fever. وَالتِّوَلَةُ هي شيء يصنعونه يزعمون أنه يحبب المرأة إلى زوجها والرجل إلى امرأته. Tiwala, love spells, are something that things that are used claiming that they endear a woman to her husband or a man to his wife, and this is actually a form of magic, and magic constitutes shirk, as we will come to see in the chapter that is dedicated to magic. وروى أحمد عن رويفع قال لي رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم يا رويفع لعل الحياة تطول بك. فأخبر الناس أن من عقد لحيته أو تقلد وترا أو استنجى برجيع دابة أو عظم فإن محمدا بريء منه. That Ahmad narrated on the authority of Ruwayfi'. He said, Allah's Messenger said to me, O Ruwayfi', you may live for long. So tell the people that whoever ties a knot in his beard or wears a bowstring or cleans his private parts using animal dung or bones, then Muhammad has absolved himself from him. So the fact that when the Prophet ﷺ absolves himself from someone, then this shows that the action that he is mentioning is a major shirk, is a major sin. So so these are all very serious matters. So therefore, wearing a bowstring is something which is very major. It's something which constitutes shirk, either major shirk or minor shirk, depending on the belief of the person wearing that necklace. وعن سعيد بن جبير قال من قطع تميمة من إنسان كان كعدل رقبة رواه وكيع. Sa'id ibn Jubair said that whoever cuts a talisman from a person, breaks a talisman of a person, is like a person who has emancipated a slave. Now, Sa'id ibn Jubair is a tabi'i. Now, what does he mean by this? That it is like emancipating a slave. If Sa'id ibn Jubair, rahimahullah ta'ala, may Allah have mercy upon him, if he means by this that he will get the reward, the same reward in the akhirah that one gets for emancipating a slave, then this is something which requires a dalil from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, a text from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, a hadith from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If a Sahabi had said this, then that would also be accepted. As when a Sahabi says something to do with the ghaib, then this with the unseen, then this carries the ruling of something that the Prophet ﷺ said. The other thing that it could mean is that it is like emancipating a slave, in that it is similar to it, in that he has freed him from a form of slavery that one is subjected to when he attaches himself to other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if he means that this is that the reward of it is like it's like emancipating a slave, this is something which requires a dalil. However, if he means that it is similar, he's merely striking a likeness, in that he is freeing him from a form of slavery, because he is freeing him from the attachment to other than Allah, freeing him from slavery to other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then this is something which is correct, and Wallahu alam, it seems that this is what Sa'id ibn Jubair means by this. So what he is saying is correct. Breaking a talisman of someone is like freeing him from slavery to that talisman, freeing him from that unnecessary false attachment to that talisman, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. وله عن إبراهيم قال كانوا يكرهون التمائم كلها من القرآن وغير القرآن. Ibrahim al-Nakhi, meaning al-Nakhi, said that they would dislike talismans, all of them, whether they were from the Quran or other than the Quran. And Ibrahim al-Nakhi, rahimahullah ta'ala, is referring to Ibn Mas'ud and his colleagues, Ibn Mas'ud radiallahu anhu, and his companions. وصلى الله وسلم على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم.